All right. Let's talk about Dan Campbell's disappointed in veteran wide receiver Donovan Peoples Jones. So I was searching for something to talk about. Here we go. So shout out to Sporting News. Detroit Lions Dan Campbell expressed disappointment with veteran wide receiver Donovan Peoples Jones. I mean, very talented from the city of Detroit. We heard Darius Fountain was doing this thing in camp and taking over the number 3 position that was meant for him to take over. And if JMO didn't do good, and then we really ain't heard much about Antoine Green either, where, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes went on 97.1 the ticket and said that they were looking forward to what, he was doing in camp. So we ain't heard much from him about him neither. So if JMO didn't really, had an arc that he had, and they don't really have much behind him, and that's why fans was gonna be like, well, they should have traded for, they should have traded for for a wide receiver, and now they may have to go pick up a wide receiver. It's better late than never. You know what I'm saying? It's better late than never. So, with that being said, um, there's been some surprises so far. You know what I'm saying? There's been some surprises so far, as far as Levi Onwuzurike recovering from his back injury and playing well. Um, Makai Wingo, another guy. Uh, so it's been some guys in there making some noise. And, on Instagram, it looked like, he was putting a lot of good work in. It looked like he's putting a lot of good work in as far as, in the off season, working out, looking in great shape. Um, uh, uh, and that's kind of what they could be looking for. But now, they could be in the receiver business, to be honest. Um, they could be in the receiver. They could be in the receiver business. If we all being quite frank. So it says it isn't often that you hear Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell publicly express his disappointment with the player. That's exactly what he did with wide receiver Don Peoples Jones on Friday. He's a receiver. They traded for him last season. The excuse was for me that he needs time to form a rapport. That's why you want to get a receiver earlier than late, unless you got a receiver that knows the offense or knows the quarterback in both. Really, before practice, Cameron revealed that while Peoples Jones has been working hard, he simply hasn't been what he expected out of the veteran wideout, knowing that the team is looking him to take another step here. He said, quote, he's the guy I expected more out of too. And he knows that, Campbell said to Nolan Banshee of the Detroit News. Now he's working. He works at it, man, but he wants it, but he just needs to take another step. He says People Jones was expected to be one of the top options for number 3, a spot on the depth chart behind Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. At the very least, he was expected to grab the number 4 spot if he lost out to Khalif Raymond, who has been miles better than him dating back to the offseason program. However, People Jones has been very quiet, something that has been highlighted even more with the other receivers standing out around him on a daily basis. Expectations, quote, the expectations was to come here, compete for the 3rd or 4th receiver spot. That's what it is, Campbell said. So much out of it. All right, who's going to fill in for Josh Reynolds? Who's going to take that? Is it by committee, or is it the guy is going to step up and become that for us? People Jones has never considered to be a lock to, was never considered to be a lock to make the roster. Huh? I figured he was a lock to make the role, but he's certainly a better chance than most, concerning advantage experience over most of the team's option depth role. After Campbell's comments clear, we just need to adjust our thinking. So I think he meant he was a lock to make the roster, but maybe not right now. I mean, he battled a lot of injuries throughout his career. He do provide some kick return ability, athletic receiver. So yeah, I think we all was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I think we all was a little bit surprised that I think we all was a little bit surprised that it didn't work out for him. It's not working out for him, but it's still early in the camp. They ain't been in camp about a week, if that. Especially they ain't been in the past without a week. So shit, that shit crazy. You know, uh, you know. So But it is what it is. It is what it is, man. But and sometimes you got some guys you don't call out publicly, some guys you got to call out publicly, and that's the good thing about being a head coach. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing about you because you're a good head coach because you know how to push these guys' buttons. Some guys just need a push. Some guys don't. Some guys you just need to have a private conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, and then some guys just need a public push. So you got to remember that type of stuff too. So, but it's all knowing your people. It's like being a teacher in the classroom. You learn your students, and you know, you know, and you go from there. You know who need to be pulled aside. Who need to be chastised in front of the whole class. I mean, I seen it. Playing basketball with coaches. You know, I seen it. So sometimes you don't know. Who need to be called out. Sometimes you figure it out going about that way. So I seen coaches, do some things to players, that needed to be done. That right now people would, be calling for their job and they should go to jail, but the parents was cool with it. It's a different era. So you got to just know what buttons to push and what buttons not to push. So, for him, he felt like there was the button to push for him, and I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine with it. He figured that this was the button to push for him. So with that being the case, hopefully he sit there and he get it together because the city behind him, a lot of Lions fans behind him. He had a great year. I think they said Baker was the quarterback when he had that great year. Yeah, I think they said Baker was the quarterback. So, but that is what it is, man. But for Dan Campbell to call somebody else out, then but that's why a lot of people was like, well, he might want to sit there. He might want to go get a quarterback. A lot of people were saying that like he might want to go get a quarterback, but then again, uh, it is what it is. So he knew his team, he knew how to punch, push the buttons and all that. So we'll see what happens. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.